Welcome, I have the headphones on. Hold on. Welcome, everyone, to episode
47.
47? Let's go with 47. Episode 47 of the Our Two Cents podcast. This is Admir sitting right across from one Chris D'Amico. Let's go with that one. This week, 2 episodes as always.
Anthony Davis trade rumors. We're doing that.
We're not doing that. I could give a shit where Anthony Davis goes. So this week we'll be reviewing the film for the week, If Beale Street Could Talk. And then we'll also have an episode where we discuss, talk, chat, whatever you want to call it, of the latest episode of True Detective. So this episode will be obviously Beale Street. It's going to be all spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, make your way to the theater. It is quite the experience. Highly recommended as a film.
Well, we're giving spoilers away already.
I'm foreshadowing my score. It's going to be a 12 out of 10.
All right.
So, yeah, make your way to the theater, watch it, come back, listen to us, chit-chat about it. Anyway, shall we jump into it, Chris?
I guess.
Yeah, you guess. This is the Barry Jenkins follow-up to the highly critically acclaimed Moonlight.
Yep.
Yeah, and it tells a story. Let me read this from IMDb. It tells a story of a woman in Harlem embraces her pregnancy while she and her family struggle to prove her fiancé innocent of a crime. It's very funny that you can fit that whole film in one sentence because it is quite a dense movie. I think it touches on quite a lot of themes. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is in a nutshell. So I open the floor to you, the defendant. Do tell me your thoughts on the film, Chris. Of course, spoilers, so you can go right ahead.
Well, you know me. We don't go straight to the movie. We like to build it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Build up
now,
away.
Did you like Moonlight?
I did. I thought it was quite good. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I saw it at home. I thought it was quite good. I think the structure was unique, and same way in this film, Barry Jenkins doesn't seem to want to tell linear stories. It might divide some people, but I personally enjoyed that in Moonlight, especially in this one too. So, did I have wild expectations? No. I really liked Moonlight. And then so this coming around, I saw the trailer for it immediately. I knew this was going to be some heavy hitting shit. So, I was expecting certain emotions and certain weight to the film, which I definitely got. Yeah. How about you?
Well, Barry Jenkins seems to be on the rise on his based on his recent movies. I did not see the trailer because I don't watch trailers. That's hipster Chris coming out.
Oh yeah. Except Spider-Man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You got a lot of active.
Shut your face, dog.
Mad active on Twitter about Spider-Man.
Shut your face.
Yeah. All right.
But like you, I did expect to be emotionally attached to the movie. We are reviewing this a tad late, so and based off the Oscar nominees, I could say that this definitely did get snubbed.
Wow, yeah, how this did not get into Best Picture, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, I'm just Bohemian Rhapsody and Black Panther got in. Not this movie.
This got in. Blackkklansman got in ahead of this too. I don't know. I mean, Klansman could have been a. Giving to Spike Lee something.
Klansman, I had a feeling was going to be a dark horse.
Yeah, but this...
But Bohemian Rhapsody and freaking Black Panther... No, that's another episode where I just get tight. But no, yeah. I'm pretty sure it got nominated for... Did it get... Please tell me it got nominated for like screenplay or something.
I don't know. I just know it didn't get nominated for picture. I don't think Jenkins got nominated for
Dude,
for
wild,
director
man.
either. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's... Yeah. Very surprising.
Snub season.
Let me see. Yeah, because they did. Let me see here. What is it? What is it called? The Academy. Oh, it's the Academy Awards. Yeah, I don't see anything here from the Academy Awards. Oh wait. Okay, so we have So we have a Best Supporting Actress, Regina King. We have a Best Adapted Screenplay, Barry Jenkins, and we have Best Original Score.
Okay. Still.
Definitely should have got a picture, in my opinion. No director either.
Kind of crazy.
Anyway, this is not an Oscar chat. We'll probably have that down the line at some point.
Those are my general thoughts going into the movie.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
So overall, I think it was a really good movie. Acting all around, Well, I'm not going to take your word. Sorry. Fantastic, I think.
Yeah, I charge 25 cents every time.
Writing is there. I love the style of the movie. At times, I felt like a documentary.
It's those like straight head-on shots.
Yeah, and then there's the stills and all that. I thought it was really cool. Like the non-linear. Oh Jesus, I can't talk.
Be careful, Chris.
But school started recently. I can't. The non-linear structure.
Very good.
All right. Shut up.
Shut up, man.
Shut up here. No, it was done well, and
I'm gonna knock the glasses off your face.
Because I'm a nerd. No.
Because you're a nerd. Yeah.
Yeah, you sip that water bottle. Hurry up! I want to talk.
I'm sorry. Me drinking water is getting in the way of you speaking into a mic. Go on.
Non-linear structure, I thought was done well. It flowed. I think it helped the movie have a nice pace to it.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I thought it was it kept me very engaged. Like, they didn't throw you things that didn't seem to fit together, I felt at least. In the flashbacks or whatever. It always seemed to, like, flow correctly, like you said. It's always a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
When you don't have a non-linear story. Obviously, the extreme we had with like Bandersnatch not a month and a half ago. This is obviously nothing close to that sort of, messy sort of plot structure. But yeah, it could be a turnoff for some people. Me personally, I think it's an interesting way to show events. And I think, do you think certain events get more significant when you see them out of order like that?
I think so. Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a specific example.
In the movie or just in general?
In the film, I think. So like the Puerto Rico, her going to Puerto Rico.
Regina King.
Okay. You seeing it? I mean, we see it basically at the end.
Yeah, and I was like expecting like some like major confrontation type.
Yeah, and I think seeing it at the end, it fit this story of. This was the way they were going to exonerate him. And so when that doesn't work out, you're left sort of, because you feel it's the end of the movie too. Mm-hmm. And so you're left with this pit in your stomach that you really can't, there's no happiness to fill it with.
Right.
There's no happy ending, at least, to fill it with. And so, like, at least in my mind, I was sort of caught there, like, what the hell now? Like, because I haven't read the book, so I don't know what the book ends with. But at least I was caught in this, like, oh, shit. Are we ending this on this note? I mean, because it is a very heavy film, and so it wouldn't have surprised me. It didn't surprise me the way it ended. Yeah, it's always interesting, the nonlinear stuff. And, of course, the way you see their relationship grow backwards almost.
Yeah.
Like them finding their home, for example, the way they obviously face systematic sort of racism in their seeking of an apartment to rent, and it takes them quite a while to find a place. And when they finally do, but you see this out of order, right? So like the Wikipedia I read this summer real quick it's linear, right? So I saw it about a month ago now, so I can't even remember specifically what the order is in the film, but yeah, I think it's in some cases you can show more. Like I do know specifically the first scene you see is the family learns, like the first big scene is the family learns about her being pregnant, and I think that sets the backdrop. After that, where you understand why you don't see his family anymore, for example, except for the father.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that was a big pro, like, because throughout the whole movie, I felt like they did a good job of making you feel like you were part of their family.
Yeah.
Because off the bat, everyone's supportive, excluding the guy's family.
Yeah, Fonny's family.
By the way, that scene.
Okay.
Top
yeah.
notch.
I mean,
we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But no, I thought it was really good. Because the thing is, they don't tell you, I mean, spoilers, so they don't tell you, like, it's not clear. I mean, obviously he hasn't done it.
Right.
But they don't really, like, confirm it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because the relationship is so strong,
yeah,
you automatically think, yo, there's no way.
You think that you're going to find a way out. Yeah, I think one of the reasons perhaps it's not.
Yeah, there's no way he's done it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the only reasons you believe. I don't even know what I was going to say. I deadass just lost my train of thought. Wow.
It literally happened 3
Anyway,
seconds.
move on to another point I have here. In speaking of the way Jenkins directed it, I thought of it very much as, at times, trance-like, the way he shot certain scenes.
Yeah.
He plays with light in this movie all the time, and he plays with natural light. He doesn't play with light that sort of he adds into the scene. Like, there's quite a few shots, specifically the one where they're looking at their new home, where he plays with the sun. He always has them standing almost together in the sunlight, and so you almost see a silhouette of them. You don't see them, and so you end up only looking at one figure at times because they're holding hands or something, and so you don't see the distinction between him and her, and so they look like one, and it's always very pretty shots. And the one thing I did want to say, this film is very the one type of shot, the head-on shot. I don't know what the professional term is, Mr. Hollywood. Maybe you know what the professional
shot?
The ones where they like just look at you directly, where the actor's literally right at the camera.
One shot.
I don't know. Is that?
Yeah, I don't know what shot. I mean, whatever. Okay, go on.
Yeah. This is very distinct in this film, right? It's very, very distinct, and I think it plays the role of putting you in the shoes of the person looking at the person, right? And so I think one of the places where this is most effective is when Tish is visiting Fonnie in jail. And there's very few shots, I don't want to say never, but there's very few shots of you looking at them at the same time. It's always one looking at the other, and you always take the role of, as the audience, you take the role of the other individual who's looking on. Right? And so what it creates is, it almost creates a character portrait of the other character in the moment, right? And he does this several times. Obviously, the jail scenes are the most... are the most provocative at times, but there's also scenes when they're very happy with each other. Like right after they get their apartment, they're almost dancing in the streets, and there's this, again, the head-on shot of one and the other, and you sort of fill the role of a person who loves this other person. I thought it was very clever, right? I think film is a lot of times about putting you in the shoes of another person, and I think this shot specifically, this style, completes that to the best degree. And conversely, though, because most of the time he uses it to convey a sense of loving for the other character, but he does do the same, he has the same technique when he does it with the cop, which I thought, that scene, you completely understand how scummy that dude is.
Dude, that cop was a piece of filth, dog.
Yeah, and we'd never see him like chase Fonnie down for the rape allegation or anything like that. But the one time we see him interact, obviously he's completely overstepping his boundaries as a police officer. But the shot of just, I don't know who the actor is who played him, because he did when the conversation, like when their interaction's over, like they have like a shot of his face at of
the
his
end.
face. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ed Skrein is the actor's
Screech?
name. Yeah, dude, that shot lasts in your, at least it lasted in my memory. I mean, again, I've seen this a month ago, but you see his jaw clench. He's got this stupid mustache on,
smug,
these very beady blue eyes that like just pierce you, and Jenkins is very effective with that. And you, again, it's just like very quick character portrait of who this guy is, and you get the sense right away. Bam, you know who he is. He's this really scummy person who's trying to whatever, right? Overstep his boundaries. He's absolutely. And it adds so much weight to the story of who this cop is, right? Yeah, so that was in terms of what Jenkins does. You want to go into some scenes that perhaps stood out for you?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the same standout scene.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the family scene, which was like the big one that opens up the film.
I mean, that one caught my attention.
Yeah,
like the most.
Yeah,
because I think. Well, again, I do like, obviously Regina King is GOAT. in this movie, but I do think everyone holds their ground.
Yeah.
Especially in that scene. Because that scene made me feel the most angry.
Yeah.
Because of how, because the hell's the guy's name?
Fonny?
Fonny, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, Alonzo, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Alonzo.
Yeah, well, we'll go with Fonny. Because family, family. Nah, because they're not bad people.
Yeah.
They're just OD religious.
The mother is, the mother isn't her daughters.
Well, yeah, the daughters kind of have this little
follow
little
the mother.
bitch vibes to them, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. But it's just like, how are you shooting this down, man? Like, and Regina King, she sums it up perfectly. It doesn't matter how
he gets here. Yeah.
It's your grandson.
Yeah.
And then that scene where because I love the fact that the father, his Fonny's father, was all for it right away.
Yeah.
And then that scene where he just slaps her, man, was OD.
I mean, this moment in the film goes up several layers.
Hell yeah.
And you at moments when you don't think he's gonna go higher and higher and higher. Because the moment they come over, so it's first tense when she tells her mom, or when she's about to tell her mom, because I don't think they have the conversation on screen, right? So Regina King hears it, she seems understanding of it, right? And then there's a tenseness of she tells now the family, and how's the dad gonna react? And then the dad obviously has to take a minute to take it in, but he's very quick to also, support her, right? So now we've passed two moments of what is usually, a shit fest, right?
The stress levels keep increasing.
It's already stressful, right? You just passed two hurdles of stress, okay? Third stress level is now the entire family comes over, and you got to tell them, right? So even before she says it, it's stressful because she has to say it at some point, right?
And clearly there's beef between them.
Exactly. That's when you start knowing that the mom, the way she sits on the couch is on the edge of the couch, you don't want to sit there all comfortable and shit because you better than that couch.
No eye contact either.
Yeah, no eye contact. Her daughters are talking mad shit from the side.
Mad shit talking.
So clearly it's now we're tense again, right? So now we passed two hurdles, tense number 3.
We're in game 7 right now.
Yeah, we're in game I'll say 5 because game 7
it's getting chippy.
Is wild.
It's getting chippy.
Then she says obviously that she's pregnant with the kid, and then shit gets more tense because the mom starts going on this monologue. Bless you, Chris.
Shut up. Go ahead.
Did I cancel your sneeze?
You did. Piece of garbage.
Control delete, Chris. So so the mom gets upset at the. Are you gonna sneeze?
No, go ahead. I'm just telling you, bro. I love sneezing, and you just kind of ruined it.
I owe you a sneeze, dog. I owe you a sneeze.
You stay stealing.
I stay stealing. The mom loses her mind, goes on that monologue. You're stressed again. The dad physically abuses her. Stressed again.
Did you say, what the?
Yeah, she starts bleeding, I think, at that point, which absolutely...
She was?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think they put a cloth on her face. And then there's that bit of a calm down after when they basically kick him out. But even then, Regina King still delivers that line.
You forgot that the sisters go into battle.
Oh my god! I was with a good audience, and they were hollering at the right moments.
Nah, bro, I was hollering too, bro.
Dude, they were losing their mind. She dropped that line. My daughter's never gonna be like your daughters. Ain't nobody gonna want to fuck them.
Yo, Gigi.
I was dude, the audience they went wild when they heard that shit, man. Rightly so, because it was. I don't know who played the sister. I can't remember which one of the sisters plays it, but damn, does she deliver that shit right cold, bro.
It hit.
Oh, it hit. Everybody was laughing. I was laughing. And she was damn right. You kick him out the house anyway, and so that's the end of the scene. But that scene, oof.
Big oofa.
Big oof on that scene, bro. Big oof. Another scene that I really enjoyed, and it's very small. It's a very small scene. Tish is pregnant at this point, and I think she's in the bathroom. She's throwing up, and she comes out, and she sees her pops at the dinner table, right? And so he takes her and just rests her on his chest, whatever, and just sort of soothing her. I absolutely loved the dad in this movie, dude.
Nah, he was awesome.
I loved the dad. Let me get the actor's name, because Coleman Domingo.
What a name.
Dude, absolutely kills it. The vibes he gives off of just this warm, fatherly person. Kills it, man, immediately. Just the way he reacts to hearing the news about his daughter being pregnant. He's very he's taken aback at originally, but he's very calm and he supports her. And then there's a scene with him and the other dad in the bar. And I love their monologue, bro. I love dialogue, rather.
Very bro-y.
He says something that's really... It's going to stick with me for a long time. Where the other dad is talking about we don't have money. And he says, we never had money. Yet we raised kids. We got a house. We got jobs. Everybody ate. Everybody got clothed. We never had money, and yet we got to this point, right? And
in a way, that could relate to, like, our family as well.
A lot of people. I think it's going to touch a lot of people because he doesn't see the no money thing as, like, the obstacle in the way of what's happening, right? He's going to figure out a way to get the money.
Right.
He ends up doing whatever. I think he sells stuff out of, like, a van or whatever the case is.
Well, I think that's later in the movie, isn't it?
It's later, yeah. But just his complete demeanor about life and things that he, as a dad, is about to face on, right? Like, his daughter's about to be pregnant and the husband is behind bars and he needs money for this investigation. And he doesn't blink twice. There's no, maybe it's not going to work out. No. It's gonna work out. Like in his mind, he's gonna do his best. He's gonna get the money. Investigator's gonna find this this girl who accuses Fonny of the rape, and absolutely loved his character, dude. Yeah.
Was that your scene?
That was some of my scene. I got some other stuff.
I also enjoyed the scene with Dave Franco. I didn't even know Dave Franco was in this.
Yeah.
Because I do think that scene like kind of represented. It was like a surprise element of unison for Fonny and Tish.
Yeah.
Because I think he has a good line in it. Like, he was just like, I forgot exactly.
Yeah, I just love seeing people in love, right? No matter what
and he was just like,
whatever.
He's like, I'm my mom's son.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's what separates us from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's that hint of unison.
Yeah, it's this community of marginalized people coming together with each other. And you see that too, I think, like the storefront lady who...
He hires her.
Who hires...
Wait, no, I'm talking about the perfume.
Oh, not the perfume. I'm talking about like when the cop...
Okay.
Like the storefront lady is this Spanish lady, right? She speaks Spanish at least, so she's definitely probably Latina.
I was so happy she came out, dog.
Dude, like that.
I was gonna lose my shit.
That's another tense moment. Holy shit, is that another tense moment, man? God damn. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, go on.
No, I got my thoughts out of it.
Yeah, there was the scene where he meets his best friend.
Ah, yes, Paperboy.
Dude, obviously that's not in the movie.
I know, but
stay throwing your Atlanta references in this.
He's on the come up, bro.
I'm happy for him because he's, dude. So the way Jenkins shoots them, seeing each other.
It's awesome.
It's like anybody who has a friend that they genuinely love and you haven't seen them in a while and you finally see them like that, he captures that emotion of just pure love between two guys, and they hug and it's in the sunlight and they're cheesing so hard, and I love when he brings his friend home, when Fonny brings him home, and Tish is doing the voiceover.
Yeah.
And she says, like, I wasn't prepared or anything. And he brings his friend over, and she says something along the lines of, but I was okay because I saw how happy he was. And they're both, like, grinning, like, cheek to cheek, man. They're grinning hard as hell. They're happy to see each other. And then the conversation they have.
Oh,
it's some tense and like, horrible shit to hear, man. But it's so... He delivers it. Like, I don't know the actor's name.
Brian Henry.
Or
are you talking about...
No, Brian Henry, yeah. He delivers it so well. So smooth, man.
He's got a really good voice.
Yeah, his cadence to how he delivers his lines is very natural. Like, for no moment was I thinking, he's reciting, right?
Yeah.
He's never like that. He completely delivers it so naturally. Adored that scene. Obviously, I've been, pretty lucky to have some close friends, so I know exactly what that feels like. How'd you feel about the Puerto Rico scene when Regina King goes there?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially when
rightly so. Yeah.
You could. I think Regina King is like, because I expected a confrontation or Regina King just goes off.
She didn't. Yeah.
And then again, I brought myself back to reality, and it's like she can't screw this up.
Yeah.
And you felt that after like the Puerto Rican lady leaves, and she's like,
yeah, Victoria.
Shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, damn, because she kind of like blew her chance.
Yeah, it's sort of this idea of like you expect her to go there, she's going to explain herself, and she's going to bring this woman back, and everything's going to be fine. But that's not what happens, because she did get raped, right? So that did happen, right? And so she's still carrying that baggage. Of what happened to her. So she's not in the right state of mind, right? Clearly not. And so it made for this incredibly tense moment of two people who were not in the wrong, right? Like it'd be very difficult for somebody to look at somebody like Victoria in this movie and be like, well, you stupid, you should know who did it, or how dare you accuse somebody. But man, like I have no idea what it's like to be in that position. And to think you know who did it and somebody else is saying no, you don't care who that person is telling you no if you think that's what happened. So it's a very tense moment, and it's a moment where like it's almost like which side do you fall on? And obviously, you feel sympathy for both characters to some great extent. Some dude's about to end up in prison, but he didn't do anything, right? But at the same time, here's this lady who suffered greatly, and do you call her out? Can you? I don't think you can, right?
Right.
It's a complex scene. It's a very complex scene, and people will react to it, I think, differently, and rightly so. Just falls into the greater sort of depth that this film was willing to explore, and props to Jenkins for doing that, and to the book, by the way. I got to get the actor. Why don't I get the actor? The actor. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going
author.
With that.
The damn author, man.
Are you stupid, Mir?
Kind of. If Beale Street Could Talk, James Baldwin. Jesus Christ, James Baldwin, very famous African American author. Love the quote in the beginning by him, by the way.
Yes.
Every street in America has a Beale Street. Every city in America has a Beale Street. Yeah, quite beautiful. The final scene. So this is where I was really emotional through.
Because you're a little bitch. That's why.
1,000%. So I was really emotional through huge chunks of this film. But it all hit me like a damn tsunami in the last scene.
Like a Johnny tsunami?
Let me walk you through what happened to me emotionally. I've become just a
little bitch.
My estrogen levels have gone incredibly high the last 2-3 years. But anyway. So the last scene is
them visiting.
He brings the son. Yeah. She brings the son, right? Tish brings the son to meet Fonnie in prison after he's accepted a plea deal for his crime. And
that's so crazy that he accepted
it's so
it, bro.
sad. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I know.
They don't have the money for it, and that's like he's making. And this is where I think this film was better than Klansman, right? Because he's making a grander point. Right, but he's still centering it in the characters. Right. He's talking about racism. He's talking about the injustice that blacks face in the prison system. He's making all these points. The director is Jenkins, but he's not doing it at the cost of the characters. And this is where, for me, this movie definitely should have got in ahead. If we're just comparing it to Blackkklansman, it's the better film in my opinion. I'm not going to do the whole.
You're comparing them because they both have similar
themes, right? Yeah. They're exploring similar themes, and I think Spike Lee does it at a very high level where you're almost like preaching to me about what you want to do.
Like too on the nose.
It's so on the nose. Okay. I mean, the way the film ends. The way Klansman ends, it's extremely on the nose, and that's fine. I think sometimes you want to be pointed and abrupt with your delivery, but even throughout the film, it's very much like he wants to get the themes across, and then the characters second. In this film, it's completely the other way around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's the characters first, and then you understand the themes as they progress through their lives. I think, at least, maybe it's a personal thing. I don't know. This is at least the way I look at films. That second way that Jenkins does it is the appropriate way to get a theme and message across. If you don't... Dude, I don't remember shit about the characters for Blackkklansman.
Yeah. Besides, maybe like Ron Stallworth to an extent.
What do you remember about Ron Stallworth? I don't remember shit.
I can't remember Adam Driver's character because he was made up.
Yeah, so he was made up, and then I remember his thing because he had to deal with his personal conflict of being white-skinned yet not being white, right? So that I like that conflict, right? And rightly so. Unsurprisingly, Adam Driver got a nod for nominations for that. It's not like clearly the most complex character, which oddly enough turned out to be the Jewish white guy in the film, and none of the black folk in the film, which is kind of annoying to me because Ron Stallworth should have had depth to him that I think Lee overlooked in favor of telling you what he believes, right? Which I still think he could have done through the character. I'm getting completely off point.
Yeah, we are.
But Barry Jenkins does it, and this is the scene where he does it in, and it completely put me in a terrible emotional bind, right? Because he has the family sit down at this table, in this prison, cafeteria or whatever, and they're about to eat, or Fonny's about to eat some snacks that his son brought him, and his son stops him and says, we got to pray, right? Mm-hmm. And so they hold hands, and they say a prayer before they're about to eat, okay? I believe, I don't know if this is correct, you can tell me maybe because you saw it earlier, there's one other scene in this film, I think when the family's about to eat, and they all hold hands, and they say a prayer, I think before the argument about not the argument, before they have the conversation about her being pregnant.
With both families?
No, just them. Is there a scene like that?
I feel like there was.
I feel like there was. Even if there wasn't, if there was, it's a great callback. If there wasn't, still point remains. This kid is only ever going to share a meal with his dad for I don't know how many years in prison.
Mm-hmm. And it's those moments that count because he is young.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Yeah, like he's almost oblivious to what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's like, we got to hold hands. And when you think about where should a family be praying before they eat, you think, okay, their living room, their dining room, right, a restaurant, not a prison, right. And this film ends with that. It ends with that, dude. It put me in a terrible spot. I'm like, yo, this again, and this child is obviously symbolizing hundreds of thousands of other kids in America whose fathers go through this, right? Mm-hmm. Mostly in the African American community, right? Because this is who the film is talking about. And so you sit there with this realization of, wow, right? So in my opinion, that ending for me is going to last way longer, I think, in viewers than what Spike Lee did at the end of his movie.
You mean,
with the recent footage, I think. And this is a personal
No, I agree with you.
Because when you can see something so, and this speaks to, my luck and privilege in life where, I don't pray at the table, but I can have a dinner with my family any night of the week that we can organize it, right? Uh-huh. Nothing's stopping us from doing it. Uh-huh. But when you sit there and you go, like, something that simple, this kid is not going to have. Until he's a grown-ass adult. So his childhood has been completely forever changed because of the events that happened prior to his birth. Mm-hmm. Right? And so you sit there, and that's the last thing the film is, and then credits roll. I was just sitting. I sat in my seat for a few after this. Yeah,
it fits what the movie was saying.
It does. It fits this idea that love is always going to be there, no matter what the situation is. Mm-hmm. But to me, it also ends on this note of it can be ripped away from you, and you have no say in that, which is terrifying. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And I think that will stick with viewers a lot more than just, even I still think the Blackkklansman ending had its merits. And I think I still remember it, right? I still remember it very vividly. And I saw it, 6 months ago, whenever we saw it in the fall. So I clearly remember it. But this one, I think will stick with me a lot longer because it centers it in something that I take for granted. And when you recognize that other people can't take it for granted, you start to think, what else am I taking for granted, right? It's also an examination of who you are and then who these characters obviously symbolize in the film. So my monologue there, we can bring to a close. But yeah, that one, I had to shed a tear or two at the end of that film. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Chris?
Nah, you were spot on.
Yeah.
I don't think I could top that.
You have to top it, man. But yeah, I mean that's sort of where I left the film at. That's where I left it at. Yeah.
Scores. I mean, you go first. You probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I didn't even talk about. The only issue. I guess the only issue I had was the plot with the lawyer goes nowhere. I think we're introduced to him, and I assumed he was gonna be involved in this movie.
Well, yeah, because they like kind of hint that it's pretty big.
Yeah, and he's part of the family at one point, like Tish called.
And that's a pretty strong scene too.
Yeah, and I think that's the only plot point that goes nowhere really.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very confined, and makes its case pretty directly. So I'm going to go. I don't know. What am I going to go? Do you have your number?
Think so.
Say your number, man. I always go first. I think I went.
No, you
first.
don't. You make me go first. All the time.
Went first for Glass last week.
I went first 5 straight weeks before that.
How did you go first?
I always go first with the numbers.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm going. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see. Was there any other?
You had a month to prepare for this.
You're right. Yeah, but I didn't prepare a month for this. I'm gonna go. Okay. I'm gonna go 9.0. I'm going 9.0.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9.0. Okay. The only other thing I felt there was see, when I look at what I had an issue with, is it enough to docket a whole point? I don't know. The lawyer thing, and I did feel it was a bit too long. Certain scenes ran a little bit long. Jenkins did wander around sometimes with some scenes. So, yeah, that's why I give it a 9. What do you give it? Why?
8.5.
Why? Why the 1.5 out of the 10?
I don't know.
What if Mr. Jenkins rolls up to you and be like, "Hey, dog, what's up with that 1.5? Where did the 1.5 go?"
I don't know, man.
I'm not grilling you. We're done here.
You're grilling me OD right now.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it at 9.0. You're saying...
Dude, 8.5 is high.
You're saying 3.5.
All right.
Absolutely just stunning from Chris here.
8.5 is Oscar numbers.
Yeah, definitely should have been nominated. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway.
Dude, what are you talking about? Like, but excluding Spider-Man, that's been the highest grade I've given since, like, 8th grade.
Has it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Congrats. Finally opening yourself up, Chris. I'm so happy for you.
You're such a piece of garbage.
I'm filth, dog. I'm filth. All right. We're going to wrap this up. This was the spoiler review of If Beale Street Could Talk.
Bradley Beale Street Could Talk.
If Bradley Beale Street Could Talk. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify,
iTunes,
Stitcher, and iTunes. Yes,
and
leave comments.
YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah, we're actually on YouTube now. What's the channel name?
Our 2 cents. There's a space in between the words.
Our 2 cents. You'll see our logo up there with our faces, right?
Yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe if you can. It'd be nice. Leave comments, leave ratings, all that good stuff.
Look. When we start our Patreon account, those that donate will be mentioned.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once we start at 5 years from now. Chris is at...
Not D'Amico. This doesn't work, man.
Doesn't matter. At Not D'Amico on Twitter. I am at The Blue Yank.
Is that a new account?
It's a new account. Yeah. It's my actual account. At The Blue Yank. Anyway, this was that. And this will be the end of the episode. We're going to go talk True Detective.
How long was this?
This was like 40 minutes. Anyway, peace.